I'm Charlotte Wiseman, and I'm an applied positive psychology researcher and a mental fitness trainer. And I'm here to bring you a series of short videos to help you as you adjust to working from home and to the new climate that we're finding ourselves in. As I said, I'm from a science background, which means everything I bring you is evidence-based, and it's all going to be about practical tools. So there'll be a download for each recording to enable you to get the most out of the content that I'm giving you. Really important is that we do use these tools and these skills, and the more you can write those ideas down that you have, the better. I'm also going to continue to create content, so if you've got any ideas of what I can do to help you, please be in touch at charlottewiseman.com and I'll try and create that for you. Today what we're going to be talking about is the importance of connection. We're obviously all working from home, we have social distancing in place, and that's different depending on what region you're currently working in. But what we know is that in this time we have to maintain social interaction, and it's so possible these days with all the different video conferencing and interfaces we have. So it's very important for me to explain to you that not only do we want to just be making connections, we want to be making the most of those connections. So every day we should be setting ourselves goals to connect with someone else. And I always recommend connecting with someone from work and connecting with someone on a personal level. And we want to do that via video conferencing. What the research shows is that we get a different type of connection when we see someone face to face, when we get their facial expression and their body language. So making sure every day you connect with someone on a personal level and on a professional level. And you don't have to limit yourself to using interfaces like Teams or Zoom for the professional calls. They're great for social calls as well. So someone from work, perhaps you can plan a cup of tea with them or a drink after work. That's a really, really useful way to use these kind of tools. It's very important that we also understand how we have the best kinds of conversations. So what we know from research that Google has done on a project called Project Aristotle is that they looked at 180 teams from around the world. And these were different job functions, some project management, some sales. But across these different teams, what they looked at was what predicted the highest performing teams. So what enabled those teams to reach their potential. And what they found was that it wasn't about the academic background of the individuals in those teams, it wasn't about the personality traits of those teams, it was about the quality of those connections within those teams. So it was about the individuals knowing that they had a good network of support, and then using that network and knowing the value of that network by creating high quality connections. And high quality connections are about having an equal balance in communication. So being able to listen as well as we can speak. Being able to celebrate success of someone as well as being able to celebrate our own success. And it's that balance of equality in communication that enables us to get the most out of our conversations. So if we're going to do that, if we're going to cultivate these high quality connections, a few things that you can be thinking about as questions to ask when you call people. So when you call someone, I recommend starting with, how are you feeling on a scale of 1 to 10? This enables us to actually think more clearly about how we really are doing. And it lets someone know that it's okay to not be okay at times, that's fine, but just to be able to recognise why and take action to manage that. We can then ask them what the highlight of their day has been. As a human, we have a negativity bias, which means we're very good at noticing the negative. We're also being bombarded by negative news at the moment. And when our brain starts to notice negative, it becomes more susceptible to notice more negative. This inhibits our capacity to see the positive. And that actually reduces our problem-solving abilities and reduces our clarity of thought. We become much more emotional in these times. So by focusing on the highlight, and even a bad day has a highlight, that enables us to activate the problem-solving, creative, and more positive mindset. So asking what the highlight of a day has been is really useful. What we also find is in that moment, when one person remembers a positive experience, that also supports the other person to experience that positive emotion with them. So both people will be stimulating those positive reactions within the body, and that's supportive for our well-being and our thinking. We can then ask someone what they've learnt in a day. So really important we focus on what we've learnt, and perhaps that's also what have you found challenging. So what have you found challenging? What have you learnt? So really, really good couple of conversation starters there. And you can ask them what strength they've shown. So there's a video coming up in the next couple of sessions which will be about strengths. So watch that one and that'll help you identify what strengths you've shown, and so you can have that conversation more clearly. And the final part is, from today, what are you going to take and what are you going to do this evening? So setting yourself a personal goal for that evening and holding each other accountable to that. I hope that's useful. You've got some handouts to support that. You've also got some notes there so that you can create a list of people you might want to connect with, people who inspire you, people you might want to thank, and that's another useful tool to making some goals around connections. I look forward to seeing you next time. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with in the meantime.